Don't think anybody's here yet. That's okay. I was having some technical difficulties. Oh, somebody's here. Hey. Oh, there we go. Turn on the lights. I'm not gloomy. Better. Just having technical difficulties. I'm just going to give a couple minutes for people to get in. I'm cozy with my blanket. Get my coffee. So feel free to say hi. Get yourself a cup of coffee. Be cozy as well. Let me know what's up. I'm just gonna, what the hell? Oh well, I'm just gonna have to deal with it. Just like this. Turn on! There. Heck. It'll be annoying if I have to keep doing that. Okay, so, all right, we've given 1 minute. People can just come and pop in or take a note, whatever. $0 side hustles. Fuck it. To give context, I have nothing to sell. There's no course. There's nothing like that. This is genuine experience, and life has forced me onto welfare. So when I say $0, I actually mean $0. In the description box, there is a document with all the tools listed, so don't stress about that. Just worry about the technique notes and picking of these 3 different platforms, which one you want to focus on first. Don't overwhelm yourself. Just know that the options are there. We're going to go over 2 different types, 3 different platforms of print-on-demand options, how to do it, and how to do your research so you don't dive into the deep end of the pool and then smash your head on the bottom of that pool like I did, because I like to dive into things. So learn from my mistakes. Let's go over the quick ones first. There's Redbubble and Teespring. Now, Redbubble is located in Australia and was originally developed for independent visual artists, so painters, digital artists, all of that, so that they could create merchandise to sell their art on, from clothes, mugs, masks, bags, all kinds of stuff that they have, notebooks. They have one of the biggest product ranges, actually. And Teespring does something similar, but they're much better focused on doing more generic things like YouTuber merch and graphics you can buy. Now, obviously, you can do both on either platform. So if you already have artistic skills, awesome. The advantage of Redbubble is there are specific research tools that help you know which categories are becoming more popular. It's in the document. Whereas Teespring does not have that, so you kind of have to take educated guesses. Like Christmas is coming up, funny Christmas sweatshirts, probably going to do better than a Halloween one, right? Excuse me. So you take more of an educated guess. Now, both of these are much simpler. There are sources for graphics. If you cannot draw or paint worth shit, that's okay. They are for like visual graphics that will work on these platforms with a premium license and have a free section. There's 2 main places. They're linked in the document. They're designbundles.net and the Hungry JPEG. Now, the Hungry JPEG is less well known. And more importantly, you will have to check for the file resolution. You want a minimum of 300 dpi, which is not standard on that platform yet. JPEGs can be put at that resolution, but they don't have transparent backgrounds. Now, the Hungry JPEG website does have designers who put up PNG files, which include transparency, SVGs, which is a specialized file format you won't have to deal with. I'm just making a point that they have more than one file type. It's not just JPEGs. You just have to pay attention to which file type and the resolution of that file type if you decide to go for the Hungry JPEG. Design bundles, it's all PNGs, minimum file resolution, etc. They're much larger and more popular, so it's more likely you'll accidentally run into somebody using a similar graphic set, so just bear that in mind. For both Teespring and Redbubble, you'll click on Start Designing and just pick one initial product and upload the image. And then you can add in other products. You write out a title for it, which will create the unique URL. Like, they do a lot of the work for you. Of the two, I like Redbubble's interface better because it doesn't lag as much, whereas Teespring, if you create a product and have too many options when you create the initial product, it will crash. I don't go over 12. But the advantage is that once you've created that, you can go back in if you want to add more and add stuff to that product line with the same design. So it doesn't matter. It's just going to take a little bit longer and you have a little bit less research. But they're based in the US, so they might be the better option depending on your location and all of that stuff. Redbubble, if like their interface is much faster. It just goes click, 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 click. They've just got better service or something. I don't know what it is, but both of them work well. I just started on Redbubble, which is why I wanted to include it. And I was able to do more targeted research where dogs are becoming more popular. Westies in particular, because I already had a graphic set that I bought part of a bundle. Obviously, you can make any of this cost money. I just want to make sure that if you have zero budget, you know how to do it for free. It's just going to take longer. Whatever you don't spend in cash, you will spend in time instead. And that's true across whatever you're doing. So yeah, that's the print-on-demand merchandise. They're very easy and quick to set up. Before you start selling products, they'll require you to set up your financial stuff, and it's all like click, 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 click. Very easy. The one that's more involved is low-content publishing on KDP. I am not aware of any other platform where you can do this, but you can print low-content books, so paperback. You can skip the ebook. The ebooks are only useful if you are actually typing something out. Now, I am a high-content author as well, but if you are also an author, in case anybody comes later and watches the live stream after it's done, you know how hard it is to pay the bills. It can be very challenging to get your books to sell because they get drowned, and marketing is its own skill. Thankfully, with KDP and low content, it's relatively easy once you know all the steps, but it's quite a bit more involved than Redbubble and Teespring. So this is where you really want to start taking your notes. After you've got your account fully set up, I'm not going to walk you through that. This is the part about making the product and selling it. KDP does allow you to run ads, and you can run them cheap. I'll briefly touch on it, but that is its own category, so we're not covering any of that because that's no longer $0. You want to pick niches for KDP that you are already familiar with, stuff you already know. That way you can create better quality products. You only need 10 to 15 high quality items that can sell versus 100 and you only make one sale of each, because there's a minimum cost of printing and whatnot that they're going to take out. My most expensive low content, I call it medium content because I had to design it front to back, but it's low content. There's nothing really written in it. Is a 1-year witches planner. So it's deliberately pagan themed. And I designed it all the way through. It's retails for $34.99 US, but on the back end, I make less than $5 per sale. So that kind of gives you how much. You don't want to get over greedy. You should price for the average point of whatever it tends to sell at, depending on what you choose to design. So with the categories being so large, so let's say you type in notebook to Amazon, obviously you're going to get what? 50,000, 500,000 results. Odds of you ever making a sale without spending a lot of money on ads, not very high, which is why I'm saying it's called niching down. But how do you niche down? You start with things you already know. If you are strongly religious, then you can say, do a prayer notebook. What would you want in a prayer notebook? Or you're really into cars. And you obviously you have to use notebooks at different points. What would you wish is in there? And then design it accordingly. Yes, there's graphic design tools in the document. generic, now you can still utilize generic interiors as sections within these things, and a notebook is just one example. I've also done beading graph paper because I saw there was a big gap, low competition, but high demand. So I designed good quality, different graph paper notebooks for different types of beading and put those up. So I'm waiting for results on that. In all cases, you're looking at the long game of 3 to 4 months to see where things are going, but I have not spent a dime on advertising yet. I am starting to see it come up where I've made a couple of sales so far, and they've only been up for 2 weeks. So that's pretty good to start for no ads. Yeah, so the other thing, your cover. Picking how to design your cover is you want to look at other books in a similar niche, and it should look like it fits in, but not identical. This is true of any type of book you're going to publish. When it comes to ISBNs, be careful when you choose your title of your book and whether or not you want to put your own name or a specific pen name. And it doesn't have to be an actual name. It can be, let's say, Car Notebooks, and you pick a name representing that, and you put all the products under that author name. Once the book is live, you can't change those two details. You can change everything else. Like the cover, the interior, your keywords, all of that can be changed once it's live, but not the title, not the author, once an ISBN has been assigned. KDP does offer free ISBNs. They cannot be used outside of their platform. That's fine. It's low content, print on demand books. Odds are you're not going to take it anywhere else. Hold on. Ooh, I talk at a high pace. Blech. Okay. Breathe. Give you a second to catch up on your notes. ISBNs, covers, keywords. How to do your research on keywords. You go to Amazon and you start with probably a crappy choice of keyword. That's fine. And you start typing out different variations until you see in the product results, because it'll say this is paid, like result 1 of 50,000 products on there. You want to look for keywords that have 1,000 results or less, because on the back end of KDP, there will be 7 keywords that you manually add in addition to your title and description, which are other places you can put keywords. Don't be overly verbose with a low content book description. You want to tell them all the features. So this is how big it is. This is what's inside, like a list. That way you give them the pertinent information. You're not selling them a novel. You're selling them some variation of a notebook usually. It can be graph paper notebook. It can be a witchy planner like I did. You get the point. They just go straight to the bare bones. There are instances where you can do a more verbose description, but if you find it's not working, you can always go and update that description. So it's not a big deal. Just start with the features and go from there. And the keywords, when you look for results that are 1,000 or less in terms of competition, it allows you to rank organically, so you don't have to run ads. It can still be wise to run an ad to draw attention to it for 2-3 weeks and then shut it off. It just to help it rise in those rankings, so you get more sales. In the document below, there's obviously the graphic design tools in how to do this. There's also a way. KDP is cracking down on duplicate content. Now, obviously, a plain lined interior, there's going to be too many of those for people to crack down on them. So it's more like if somebody copied my witchy planner, they're going to give precedence to mine and take down the other one. So just copying somebody else's work is not going to, it's not going to do you any good in the long run. You're going to have wasted time and effort in doing something that's going to fail anyways. My brain just went blank. I hate that. I absolutely loathe when my brain goes blank. Okay. For the person watching, do you have any questions or need clarification on anything thus far? Because I've just spewed a whole lot at you. Ooh, I opened something. Nope, not what I wanted. Okay. Guess that's a question. I mean, you can still type out a question. I'll answer it afterwards if you're just busy with something. That's fine. Where was I? Designing interiors. Right. With this, you only need, I think I already said you only need like 10 to 15 well-selling items versus 100 items that just don't sell. So it's better to put your time and effort into the front of it, into the beginning, and then you just sort of walk away and let it do its thing. I talked too fast for my own good. I really thought this was going to take longer. I think I've covered most of the important parts. Yeah, pick one, focus on just one platform at a time, and then you can expand from there if you wish. Check out the document below. Yeah, and just keep me updated. I'd love to see how others do. Yeah, I can't think of anything else to say. I'm really dense, like as in compact in how I convey information. So I'm gonna call it there. Otherwise, we're just gonna sit here staring at the camera. Yeah, so you have a great day. Let me know how it goes. Bye.